Let's appreciate the brilliance, Michael Holley, of our boy. But I know how much it hurts you that he's not in your backyard, Mookie Betts.
I know. Look, Mike, you talk about him being in the backyard. He was so fun to watch here. And not just because of all the things that he can do on the field. Now, let me just point out everything that Mookie Betts can do, because he has no weaknesses in baseball. I know Mike Trout's the best player in baseball, but Mookie Betts is my number 2. Doesn't strike out a lot, hits for power, can hit for average, for those who still like average, because some sabermetricians aren't in the average anymore. You know, average doesn't matter. It's on-base percentage, but he'll give you that too. Good on-base percentage, good OPS. He's a gold glove outfielder.
Oh,
and he's a great base runner.
He's a platinum glove outfielder at this point.
He plays the game, and if you see this, like what he does, what he did last night, this is how he plays. There's like a spirit of joy in Mookie Betts, and there's a comfortable in his own skin kind of vibe to him. You never see him, whether it's in baseball or in interviews, you never see him trying to do too much. You never try to see him kind of go out of that comfort zone of like who he is. He's just very okay, very content with being Mookie Betts. And that team, I'm telling you, like this will go down. I know it's just one game. I'm not going to overreact to it. They are 1-0 in this series. And you know how I feel personally about the Tampa Bay Rays, what I want to happen. I want them to be bludgeoned.
What do you think of the payroll? Where do you stand on the payroll disparity between these two teams? I'm just curious.
Did you drink last night? You asked me what happened dinner last night. Did you get drunk last night?
When do you come down? I did not. I just wonder when you come down on this storyline. Just curious.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You see, you're a troll. I got it. But this is what happens when you pay for talent. Look at all the talent they have on that team. Your starting pitcher last night, Clayton Kershaw, a well-paid guy and a really talented guy.
So happy to see him do his thing in the World Series, because I've always hated the Kershaw postseason narrative. Really glad to see him do his thing last night. Go ahead. Sorry.
You know, I was just going to say, we all got to the point where we thought he would never do well in the postseason again. He didn't have to face the Cardinals. The Cardinals really wore him out over the years. And the Braves, they got him in the NLCS. But Clayton Kershaw versus the Rays, it's a great matchup for him. And watch out. If they wanted to, they don't have to. When it comes to the sweep, when they try to close out Game 4, because that's what it's going to be. If they wanted to bring him back for Game 4, they could. He only threw 77 pitches last night. It could have gone more. But I don't want to talk about it. That's what I want to talk about. Mike, this is what I want to talk about.
I didn't come to you for your baseball analysis. I need tell me what the emotional part of this is for you.
Here's the emotional part. This is why Mookie Betts is so good for baseball. Because when you watch this game, if you're not a Dodgers fan, if you're not a Rays fan, okay. But everybody else, if you watch the game, think about the enjoyment. Think about how much fun it was to watch him just disrupt that fifth inning and just to be all over the place. And this is one of the problems with baseball. I know a lot of people talk about African-American participation in baseball, and that's an issue too. That's an issue.
All right. They don't market their players very well for whatever reason.
Yeah. But beyond that, even beyond that, it got to the point, and I'm not anti-analytics, Mike, but it got to the point where the sport became so rooted in analytics that they forgot some of the joyful and impactful parts of the game. Analytics will tell you that stolen bases don't matter. The stolen bases, it's not worth the risk. Analytics is more station to station. So that's why, Billy Beane's teams, which have never been here, by the way, in the World Series, but that's why Billy Beane's teams are station to station.
Yeah.
They didn't run. And you think about those old Oakland A's teams with Ricky Henderson. You think about Kansas City with Willie Wilson. You think about the Cardinals.
It's the baseball we grew. It's the baseball we grew up on. It's the baseball we grew up on. Like the idea of baseball being boring is not the game we were raised on. It's not the game we fell in love with. There was plenty of action in baseball. No, it is not just how he plays. It's his overall personality. Look, I didn't cover him the way you did in Boston, but fortunately, recently, since he got traded to the Dodgers, I have gotten a chance not just to get to know him, but some of his inner circle as well. Classy doesn't do it justice. The type of guy that doesn't take himself too seriously, doesn't view himself as above anyone, even though, look, he should already be a face of baseball. Hopefully baseball sees this as an opportunity to seize upon who he is and what he's about and his story.
Two-way street, though.
What an incredible...
Barely.
It is a two-way street.
Two-way street.
Well, in all fairness,
because I want him to see it, too.
I think that's what I'm getting to. I think he does. I think he does understand, especially in this moment, in this zeitgeist, if you will. I think he does understand that if he's going to be an ambassador for the game, both broadly and specifically within the black community, that he does have to step up his game. And I can tell you firsthand that he has taken steps toward stepping into that position. Because you talked about Mike Trout. One of the things about Mike Trout is he's more interested in studying the weather than giving people all access into his process. And I'm not knocking him. That's just not how he's wired. He's not wired to be this face of baseball. Mookie has been, to this point, more of a reluctant face, but I think he's pushing himself and or being pushed into being more of a face of baseball and putting it on a tee for the sport to say, listen, here's your guy. But back to how we got here, though. And a lot of people within the Dodgers will tell you that they got here because day one, even though he's not an orator per se, he definitely laid down, hey, this is what we have to do, guys. This is what I expect of myself. This is what we need to expect of one another to take this to the next level. And even though he's new, this team goes as he goes. And if they're going to break through, finally, it's going to be because of his leadership, his quiet leadership, his subtle leadership. But his story and his work ethic are just incredible. If you don't know about it, go look it up. But
all right, Mike,
remind me, Michael. I need you to remind me of something. How did he get here again?
I know what you're gonna do.
No. I'm not even trying to troll you. I'm trying to figure out, like, it's not like he was a prospect that had promise. He had one of the greatest seasons in the history of the sport in 2018. The Red Sox knew what they had. It's not like they're not the Rays.
Right.
Honestly, I'm not even, this is not rhetorical. I'm not trolling.
It's so funny.
Educate me on what they were
bring this up right now.
Trading him to the Dodgers. Hey, listen, why didn't they sign him, for crying out loud?
Listen, Mike, what's so funny, what's so beautiful about this moment right here. Before you said that, I promise you, I was about to say, Mike, I got a confession.
Is where you were going? Okay.
I got a confession. Because you might be wondering, and you say to me sometimes, hey, man, what's up with, why do you keep going in on the Rays like this? Why do you keep going in on the Rays? And so part of it is that their financial restraint, their fiscal responsibility, and I think it's fiscal recklessness because their payroll is a joke. And when they don't win this World Series, they're going to find out that they need players like Justin Turner and Mookie Betts and Bellinger and Clayton Kershaw, for that matter. Their pitching staff's pretty good, but they need more help to really be at a championship level. But the reason I'm so bitter about it lately is because Mookie Betts was traded to the Dodgers in the name of that Tampa nonsense. And who traded him to the Dodgers? You know who the general manager of the Red Sox is now? They have a new general manager. You know where he came from?
I lose track.
His name is Chaim Bloom.
Uh-huh.
He came from Tampa.
Oh,
he
awesome.
came from Tampa. So what they're doing in Boston, what they're doing is bringing in a Tampa model. Going to pare their payroll down to a responsible, manageable level. Build through the system. Be one of those teams.
Things. And y'all out here thinking that there was a chance he would come back. Y'all hearts. I'm saying y'all just because you speak for Boston. Y'all hearts were so broken when he signed an extension.
You know who likes it though? Baseball media eats it up. Baseball media. Those teams, they love Tampa. Oh, that's a team. Oh, look what they do. It's all cerebral. So I would say if the Rays win, I'd say the press box will be happy and the boardroom will be happy.
You think so?
If the Dodgers win, the rest of us gonna be happy. Because it's just fun. It's fun and entertaining, and that's what the sport is supposed to be.